Have you ever wondered why some people instantly command the room? Why their mere presence shifts the energy, draws eyes, silences conversations? Meanwhile, you're there, feeling like background noise, trying to get a word in, hoping to be noticed, secretly praying that someone will finally recognize your worth. It's humiliating, isn't it? To know deep down you're smart, capable, maybe even brilliant, but to watch people overlook you, talk over you, or flat out ignore you. Here's a hard truth that most people never have the guts to admit. The world doesn't run on fairness. It runs on power, and power isn't always loud, flashy, or aggressive. In fact, the most powerful people rarely need to say much at all. Look around. Think about the last time you were at a party, a meeting, even in your own friend group. There's always someone who barely speaks, who doesn't fight for attention, and yet everyone seems drawn to them. They set the vibe. They decide when to speak. They control the flow of the interaction. Why? Because power is felt long before it's heard. It's an energy, a posture, a calm refusal to chase. And here's the kicker. Most people sabotage themselves by trying too hard. Most people think respect is earned by words, by impressing people, by being agreeable, by showing off. So they talk too much, laugh too easily, rush to fill silences. They keep explaining themselves, keep selling their worth, hoping that if they just prove enough, they'll finally be seen. But it backfires, because the very act of trying to win someone over signals weakness. It shows that your value isn't obvious, that it needs to be explained, defended, or begged for. So people file you away in their mental hierarchy as someone who's beneath them. And once you're categorized that way, it's brutally hard to break out, because people rarely update their first impression of you. Now compare that to someone who barely tries, who sits there calmly, not forcing laughs, not over-explaining, not chasing approval, who can let a silence stretch without squirming. That person projects something primal. It says, I don't need you to like me. I'm good either way. And humans flawed. Tribal creatures that we are instinctively chase what doesn't chase them back. We respect it. We're magnetized by it. You see this everywhere. In dating, in business, in friendship circles, even in how strangers treat each other on the street. A man who can hold eye contact calmly, who doesn't rush to fill awkward pauses, who isn't fidgeting or trying to entertain you. He's perceived as higher value. A woman who can sit comfortably in her own energy, who isn't anxiously scanning for social validation, who doesn't giggle or apologize for taking up space, she's seen as captivating. Because confidence doesn't chase. It draws. It pulls. It demands curiosity. Now here's where it gets dark. Most people will never master this, because it goes against every anxious impulse wired into us from childhood. We grow up trying to please. We want teachers to approve, parents to smile, friends to accept us. So we overcompensate. We become loud, eager, agreeable. And we carry that same desperate energy into adulthood. Then we wonder why we get ghosted, overlooked for promotions, treated like we're replaceable. It's because we broadcast that we need others more than they need us. So what's the solution? How do you flip the power dynamic without becoming arrogant or fake? It's simpler than you think and infinitely harder to consistently do. It's this. Master the art of pause. Imagine you're in a conversation. Someone asks you a question most people jump to answer instantly. They're afraid of the silence, worried they'll look dumb if they don't have a fast reply. But power moves differently. Power pauses. It lets that silence stretch just a little. It lets the other person sit in the uncertainty. It makes them wonder, what's he thinking? Is he judging my question? Does he see something I don't? That tiny gap flips the dynamic. Suddenly they're performing for you. This isn't some manipulative trick. It's how leaders, CEOs, military commanders, and even movie villains have projected power for centuries. Think about it. When have you ever seen a truly powerful character in a movie talk fast, stumble over words, or fill every silence with chatter? They don't. They pause. They breathe. They give each word weight, and the entire room hangs on what they'll say next. Because in human psychology, value is linked to scarcity. The fewer words you use, the more impact each word has. The less validation you seek, the more others instinctively want to give it. But it's not just speech. It's your entire energy. People who move slowly, who seem unrushed, project dominance. Because they aren't afraid of losing your attention, they're assuming they have it. Contrast that with people who fidget, who dart their eyes around, who rush to entertain. They come off insecure, like they're terrified you'll drift away. So here's what I want you to try. Next time you're in a conversation with a date, a boss, even a cashier, experiment with pausing. Don't answer immediately. Let there be a beat, maybe two. Hold eye contact. Breathe calmly. Then speak slowly like your words matter. Watch what happens. Notice how people lean in, how they start to mirror your tempo, how their body language subtly shifts to chase your approval. Do this often enough and you'll rewire your brain to stop being the eager puppy chasing scraps of attention. You'll start to become the one people orbit around. Now, fair warning. At first it will feel uncomfortable. Your old people-pleasing brain will scream at you to fill the silence, to over-explain, to laugh, to fidget, to speed up. Ignore it. Because every second you can sit in that calm tension, you're training yourself to be the kind of person who doesn't chase, and that's a superpower. This is why most men never break out of mediocrity. Why most women stay stuck attracting people who don't value them. Because they can't handle even 2 seconds of perceived awkwardness. They crack. They start performing again. And like that, the spell is broken. But if you master this, the pause becomes your silent weapon. It signals, I'm in control, I'm unfazed. Your reaction doesn't dictate my worth. People sense that. And their subconscious ranks you higher. It's the same reason lions don't roar when they stalk. They move slowly, silently, because they're confident in their power. Meanwhile, prey animals are jittery, darting around, making nervous noises. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. Power is quiet. Confidence is unhurried. The pause is your proof of both. When you rush, you signal a low value. When you pause, you elevate yourself instantly. So next time you're about to fill the silence, stop. Let it hang there. Look them in the eye. Let them wonder what you're thinking. Then speak calmly, deliberately. And watch the dynamic shift right before your eyes. Comment below. What's one situation where you wish you'd kept your cool instead of chasing approval? Be brutally honest, your story might wake someone else up today. If you found even one insight here that slapped you awake, hit that like button. And if you're serious about flipping the power script in your life, in your relationships, your career, your friend circles, subscribe right now. Because this channel isn't for the average. It's for people ready to become undeniable. The next time you enter a room, ask yourself, are you a force, or are you fading into the noise? Remember, the pause is not just silence, it's dominance. It's a signal that you control the tempo of life itself. Those who master it, master the world.